कार्तिक गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु महाभागवत श्री गोक्षरस बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विरक्त गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्यामा कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी कंग देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Let's do the Mangala Charan. Yeah, Mangala Charan. Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gaurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Radhat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vrishabhanusutam Vrishabhanusutanvitavamatanum Yamunatatanagaranandasutam Murali Kalagita Vinodaparam Vajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Smaragora Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadara Pakshachara Shinu Gora Gadadhara Charukatam Vajagodrumakana Kunja Vidu. Tavai vasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay, shiptashtaka ditaranga madhe, kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna, vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Sorry. I don't know what's up with yeah. Padma Ganda's all of a sudden very lively this morning. Um all right, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Indri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Pradumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji. Let's see here on YouTube and Facebook. Who is there? Haribo Vidyalala Sadidi and Vrinda Didi. Oh my God. Dude, chill out. He's like going nuts. Yesterday we ran all over outside and he was uh yeah, he was chasing us all around outside and maybe he wants to play. I have no idea. Don't know cows so well. Anyhow, um so we are continuing our program going through um going through Jaiva-dharma. We're on chapter 19. We are beginning Abhideya-tattva. So today, well, let's first start off with going over the first verse, the introduction verse of um, Daśa-mūla. Amnaya prahatatvam harimiha paramang sarvashakting rasabding tadbhinang shangscha jivan prakriti kavalitan tadvimuktangscha bhavad Bheda Bheda Prakasham Sakalamapi Hare Sadhanam Shuddha Bhakting Sadhyang Tat Pritimevetyupadishati Janan Gora Chandra Swayang Sa. So, huh? Acha. Oi, sorry. Okay. So, sorry. This verse is let's go through it. The first line is our praman, praha. What is our praman? It's amnaya. Amnaya is the words of the Vedas that are received through the Guru Parampara. And that praman, that evidence, proves the following 9 points. They are called prameyas. That's that which is proven by the praman. So the first three relate to Hari, the next three relate to the Jiva, then then is Achinta Beta Beta Tattva, how everything is, yeah, and then that's all Sambandha. And then after that is the Abhideya or Sadhan, which is Shuddha Bhakti, and the Sadhya, or the Prayojan or Sadhya, which is Priti, Tat Pritim, that means Krishna Prem. Oh, Okay. So, what are the three related to Sri Hari? Is that Sri Hari is the Parama-tattva. He's the absolute truth. And he is Sarva Shaktam. He is the possessor of all potencies. And he is Rasabdim. He is an ocean of ras. And then the three related to the Jiva. The Jivas are Tad, his, Bhinna, separated, Anksha, parts. Tad, Bhinna, Anksha, Chajivan. Those living entities are of two types. There are the Baddha Jivas and the Mukta Jivas. The Baddha Jivas are conditioned souls who are Prakriti Kavalitan, who are swallowed by Maya. And the Mukta Jivas are Tad Vimuktansh. They are Tad refers to Prakriti, the material energy, Maya here. They are free from Maya. Tad Vimuktansh Chabhavad. And then Sakalam, everything in creation is a prakash, is a manifestation, which is bheda, which is different from Hari, and abheda, non-different from Hari. Our sadhan is Shuddha Bhakti. Our sadhya is Tat Pritim, our, um, our love for Tat, for him. So, Upadishati Janan Gaura Chandra Swayamsa. In this way, iti, thus, Upadishati instructs Janan, all the people, all the living entities, by Sri Gaurachandra, who is Swayam Bhagavan. Okay, so now let's just start reading from where we left off. Um, well, actually, let me just do a little short review. So we read twice the whole story of Vijay and Vrajanath. So I'm just trying to calm him down. It's okay. Okay. Um, yeah, we met about the uncle and nephew meeting together, Vijay and Vrajanath. And Vijay discovered that Vrajanath had become a devotee of Mahaprabhu. So he is very delighted, and they went to Mayapur, to Srivas Angan. Actually, maybe let's just read a little bit, just when they arrived at Srivas Angan. You know, Vijay Kumar said, uh, yeah, so at first Vijay Kumar was hiding from Vrajanath, like why he had to go to Mayapur, just, I have to meet with somebody in Mayapur. But then Rajanath said, Uncle, a very faithful and elevated Vaishnav called Sri Raghunath Das Babaji resides in Mayapur. You must have some discussion with him. Encouraged by Rajanath's words, Vijay Kumar said, Are you developing faith in the Vaishnavas these days? I heard that you have given up the study of Nyaya Shastra and were studying Vedanta, but now I see you're entering into the path of bhakti, so I need not hide anything from you. The fact is that Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur Mahashai has ordered me to have darshan of Sri Yogapit at Sri Mayapur. So I've decided to take bath in the waters of, of Ganga Devi, then circumambulate and take darshan of Sri Yogapit. Then at Srivas Angan, I shall roll to my heart's content in the dust of the Vaishnav's lotus feet. Vrajanath said, Uncle, please take me along with you. Let's meet with mother and then leave for Mayapur. And so then we hear about when they arrived, and it's such a beautiful description, and of when they arrived in Mayapur and went to um, they went to Srivas Angan. Then Vijay Kumar, he inquired submissively from Raghunath Das Babaji, Prabhu, by what means can the ultimate aim, can the prayojan for all jivas be achieved? Please be merciful and tell us how we can attain that prayojan. Then Babaji said, You are Shuddha Bhaktas and everything is within your grasp. Still, since you have mercifully asked, I will explain whatever little I know. Krishna Bhakti, which is free from any trace of gyan and karma, is the prayojan, is the ultimate aim for all jivas. And it is also the means of attainment. During the stage of spiritual practice, in the sadhan avastha, it is called sadhan bhakti. And in the liberated stage, in the siddha avastha, It is called devotional service performed in Prem Bhakti. So, for us, the sadhan and sadhya are the means and the attainment are both the same. But in this, on our stage, it's called sadhan bhakti, and in perfection, it's called prem bhakti. But it's all bhakti. Bhakti is the means and the goal. Vijay, what are the intrinsic characteristics, the Swarup Lakshan of bhakti? And so then Babaji Maharaj explains this verse, very important, most essential verse, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavartam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. So bhakti is the top uttama bhakti. That's complete the topmost bhakti, pure, completely pure bhakti is the cultivation of activities. Anushilan means the cultivation of activities of using all of our, and in Anushilan, it's referring to, Param Gurudev explains it very clearly. He goes through the grammar, and there's like the different ganas, and there's the bhagan, and something like that, and so it's even in the word, it's indicated there's bhav and cheshta. So the um, cultivation of our bhav, our feelings for Krishna, and cheshta, our endeavors for Krishna, that are anukulyena, which are completely favorable for Krishna, only wanting the best for Krishna. um, yeah, so, and it is not anyabhilashita shunyam, it is completely devoid. Shunya is devoid of anya, of any other abhilash, any other desire. And I mean, with this verse, it goes very deep. Like, why does it say ita? Why doesn't this say anyabhilasha sunyam? But it says ita because it's not prone to any other ulterior desire. But there are examples of like when a devotee's life is in danger and they call out to Krishna. Somebody might say that's like anyabhilash, but that's why the ita has been given. Anyway, so there's anyabhilashita shunyam. It's not. It's devoid of any ulterior desire other than the happiness of Krishna. And it is jnana karmadi anavritam. It is anavritam. It is not covered by gyan, by knowledge, karma, action, or so many other things like yoga, austerities, etc. Not covered. It's utilized, gyan is utilized, karma is utilized in bhakti, but it's not covered by gyan and karma. So, and this is a sutra, Babaji Maharaj says. So, yeah, okay. Um, Then Vijay asks, what are the various distinctive characteristics of bhakti? So then just a few verses later, Anyabhilashitashunam's verse 11, and then in verse 17 in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this verse comes, Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Lagutta Krit Sudurlabha Sandarananda Visheshatma Shri Krishna Karshani Chasa. Bhakti, these are the different characteristics of bhakti. The first two are on the stage of sadhan, the next two are on the stage of bhav, and then the last two are on the stage of prem. So first is kleshagni and shubhada. Kleshagni means she destroys all kinds of distress, and shubhada, she awards all kinds of good fortune. Then the next two are moksha laghuta krit. She makes krit. She makes the pleasure of impersonal liberation appear laghuta, completely insignificant. And sudurlabha, she is rarely achieved. Then the last two are Sandrananda Visheshatma. Her nature is imbued with the most intense and superlative pleasure. And Shri Krishna Karshani. She is the sole means to attract Shri Krishna. So then Vijay Kumar asks about all these. And then this is where we left off, I think. So Vijay, yeah, okay. I'll read from this point on. You know, I have to use the Like, I have to just go for 1 second. Just use the bathroom. Do you mind just waiting? Yeah, I should have went before, but yeah, you can watch Padma Gandha drink milk from Shamali. I'll be right back. हाँ তো একটু গরম হলে এটা রাখা যাবে না ও হ্যাঁ এখন সবে সবে 7-8 দিন 8 দিন হ্যাঁ সমুদ্র এরকম বলছি আমি তো এই কিছুই দিলাম Right. Neon. Okay, so Shri Krishna, together with all his loved ones, becomes forcibly attracted and controlled by a person whose heart Bhakti Devi has appeared. Krishna cannot be controlled or attracted by any other means. So then Vijay asks, this is where we ended yesterday. If bhakti is so sublimely potent, then why do those who study many shastras not try to achieve her? Babaji, bhakti and Sri Krishna are beyond all material boundaries, so human intelligence cannot reach them because it is gross and limited. However, one can easily understand the essence of devotional service of Bhakti-tattva if he has developed even a slight taste by the influence of pious deeds accumulated in the past. No one but the most fortunate jivas can understand Bhakti-tattva. Vijay, why does material logic carry no weight? Babaji, logic does not have the qualities necessary for understanding spiritual pleasures. It is said, Naisha tarkena matir apaneya, prok- proktanyenaiva sugyaya preshta. That's from the Katha Upanishad 129. My dearest Nachiketa, it is not proper to use argument to destroy the wisdom of the absolute truth that you have received. Then it is also said, Tarka pratishtanat. Logic is useless for establishing any vastu, for any real substance, because what one person establishes by logic and argument today, a more expert logician will refute tomorrow. That's from Vedanta Sutra 2.111. That is why it is said that logic carries no respect. All these statements of the Vedanta establish that logic cannot explain spiritual matters. Rajanath, is there any stage of bhakti between sadhan bhakti and prem bhakti? Babaji, yes, certainly. There are three stages of development of bhakti. There's sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prem bhakti. Now, Rajanath, what are the characteristics of sadhan bhakti? Babaji, bhakti is one. The differences are between the different stages of development. As long as bhakti is performed by the conditioned jiva by means of his senses, it is called sadhan bhakti. Rajanath, you've explained that prem bhakti is also an eternally perfect mood. It is a nitya siddha bhav. So why is it necessary to practice in order to attain a sentiment that is eternally perfect? It's an interesting question. Then Babaji says, Nitya Siddha Bhav actually something to be gained from elsewhere. Sadhya. That is, it cannot be produced by sadhan. Sadhan is a name given to the practice of manifesting bhav in the heart. As long as it is not manifested in the heart due to being covered, one will have to perform sadhan. In reality, this bhav is nitya siddha, eternally present in the heart. This is like the whole topic of the debate, isn't it? That people are some people are saying that it's not nitya siddha, or that it needs to be produced by some sadhan. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur right here is clearly saying no, it can't be produced by sadhan. It's sadhan is the name of manifesting bhav in the heart, but it's not that you're like producing it. It's already there. It just needs to be uncovered, awakened. Is awaken the right word? Yeah, I think awaken's the right word. And then there's this verse, Kriti sadhya bhavet this is a footnote. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya, sorry, Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhana bida nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakartyam hridi sadhyata. That's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 122. Sadhan bhakti, or the regulative discharge of devotional service, is the practice performed with the present senses by which by which transcendental loving service for Krishna is attained. This bhav exists eternally within the heart of every jiva, and it is the potentiality of sadhan bhakti to awaken it. And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains this as follows. He says, Shravanadi kriyatar swarupa lakshan tatastha lakshane upajay premadhan nitya siddha Krishna prem sadhya kabu noy Shravanadi shuddha chitte koro ye udoy. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22, 106, 107. The intrinsic characteristics of bhajan are the spiritual activities of hearing, chanting, remembering, and so on. Its marginal characteristic is that it awakens Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem, and now this is my Gurudev's explanation. He says, Krishna Prem is eternally established in the hearts of all jivas. It is not something to be gained from another source. This love naturally awakens when the heart is purified by hearing and chanting. And this point has been many people, well, not many people, but some people have very strongly argued against this, which is like the conclusion of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and even made entire books that are saying no, Krishna Prem is not eternally established in the heart of all jivas. It's not something. No, it is something. They say it is something to be gained from another source, and the jiva is just like a little empty shell that needs to be filled with Krishna Prem, but there's nothing actually there. That's why they say the jiva can become Brahma, or it can be given Krishna Prem by Sri Guru. In the empty shell of the jivas, they can be filled with Krishna Prem, or it could just merge into Brahma. But there's actually nothing. There's no relationship or anything like that with Krishna there. There's no bhakti inherent. Pretty wild. Okay. So as long as it is not manifested in the heart due to being covered, one will have to perform sadhan. In reality, this bhav is nitya siddha, is eternally present in the heart. Vrajanath. Will you please explain this principle more elaborately? Babaji. Certainly, Prem Bhakti is Nitya Siddha. It is eternally perfect, because it is a manifestation of Bhagavan's internal Shakti. But it is not evident in the heart of the conditioned jiva. Spiritual practice, sadhan, consists of the efforts of body, mind, and speech to make it appear in the heart. As long as bhav is not actually attained during the as long as bhav is not actually attained during the period of sadhan, it is considered a sentiment that is achieved by practice. But its eternal perfection becomes evident as soon as it manifests itself in the heart. Rajanath, what is the distinguishing characteristic feature of sadhan? Babaji, sadhan bhakti is any method that trains the minds to become Krishna conscious. Wow, that's a very simple, clear answer, isn't it? What is a distinguishing character of sadhan? It is any method that trains the mind to become Krishna conscious. So when we're doing any activity in bhakti, why are we doing it? So that we can become Krishna conscious. How many kinds of sadhan bhakti are there? Babaji, there are two kinds, Vaidhi and Raganuga. One second, I just want to make sure I actually plugged in the mic. I'm not using, yeah, I did. Okay. Um, okay. Okay, so what is Vaidhi Bhakti? Babaji. The jiva's spiritual propensity is manifested in two ways. The regulations found in the codes of Shastra are called vidhi, and the inclination that has its origin in this vidhi is called vaidhi pravritti, the tendency to follow Shastra. And bhakti that is caused by the discipline of Shastra is called vaidhi bhakti, because it has its origin in vaidhi pravritti. Rajanath. I will inquire about the characteristics of spontaneous attraction, rag, a little later. Now, will you kindly describe the characteristics of vidhi? Babaji. The Shastras have prescribed regulative duties called vidhi and have prohibited certain forbidden activities, nished. The prescribed duty, the Jaiva-dharma for the jivas, is to follow all the regulations and to avoid all the prohibited activities. Rajanath. From your explanation, it seems as if Vaidya-dharma consists of the rules and regulations of all the Shastras. But the jivas of Kali Yuga are weak and short-lived, so they cannot study the prescriptions and prohibitions of all the Shastras and then ascertain Vaidya-dharma. Do the Shastras indicate how we can determine Vidhi Nished briefly and practically? Babaji. It is written in Padma Puran 42:103 and Narad Pancharatra 4:4-23. 4:2-23. Smartavya satatam Vishnur Vismartavyo najatuchit Sarve Vidhi Nishedhasyur Etayor Eva Kinkara. Always remember Vishnu and never forget him. What is that? Smartavya satatam Vishnu. Always remember Vishnu. And vismartavyo najatuchit, and never forget him. All the other prohibitions and recommendations are servitors of these two instructions. So that's the very essence of all rules and regulations in the scriptures. It's to remember Vishnu and never forget him. The purport is that the arrangement of all the various kinds of vidhi and nisheda within the Shastras are based on these two basic sentences. Duty, vidhi, is ascertained to be that which makes one constantly remember Bhagavan, and forbidden activities, nished, are those that make one forget him. Remember Bhagavan Shri Vishnu constantly throughout your life. This is the basic prescription, the basic vidhi, and the arrangements of Varnashram, sorry, and the arrangements of Varnashram and so on for the maintenance of the jivas are subject to it. Never forget Krishna. This nished is the basic prohibition. Everything else, such as abandoning sinful activities, avoiding the tendency to divert one's attention from Krishna, Krishna Bahir and atoning for sinful activities, they are all subordinate to this basic vidhi nished, these rules and prohibitions. Therefore, all the rules and prohibitions described in the Shastras, they are eternal servants of the rule to remember Krishna constantly, and the prohibition is to never forget him. It follows that the regulation to remember Krishna is the fundamental principle amongst all the regulations of Varnashram and other such institutions. Wow, this is like making me like watching non-devotional YouTube videos is a big prohibition. I think like it must like if we're just seeing what the purpose of all of them are, then things like watching movies and all that, that definitely gets me to forget about Krishna. And that's like a big yeah. Yeah. Shri Chamasa Uvacha. Mokka Bahurupadebhya Purushasya saha Chatvaro Jagire Varna Gunar Vipradaya Pratak. Ya esham purusham shakshad atma prabhavamishwaram na bhajantya vajananti stanar brashta patantyada. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:5, verses 2 and 3. Sri Chamasa said, the Brahmins came into existence from the mouth of the primordial Sri Vishnu, the Kshatriyas from his arms, the Vaishyas from his thighs, and the Shudras from his feet. These four varnas were born along with their particular characteristics, as were the four specific ashrams. A person living amongst these varnas and ashrams becomes intoxicated by his high social position, by his varna, and his spiritual position, and fails to worship his Ishtadev, Bhagavan Sri Vishnu, or even disrespects him. Such a person falls down from his position in the system of varna and ashram, loses all his prestige, and takes birth in the lower species. Brajanath, why doesn't everyone who follows the regulations of Varnashram practice Krishna Bhakti? Babaji. One second, let me just. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Um, Babaji, Srila Rupa Goswami explains that amongst all those who follow the regulations of Shastras, only those who develop faith in Bhakti are eligible to engage in Bhakti. They are not attracted towards the regulations of material life, nor do they renounce material life. Rather, they follow the ways of ordinary civilized life to maintain their livelihood. And at the same time, they practice the sadhana of Shuddha Bhakti with faith. A civilized jiva becomes qualified to engage in bhakti as a result of sukriti accumulated in the course of many lives. There are three types of such faithful people. There is the kanishta, the neophyte, the madhyam, the intermediate bhakta, and the uttama, the highly exalted bhakta. Vrajanath. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that four kinds of people perform bhakti. Artha, those who are distressed, Jigyasu, the inquisitive, Artharti, those who desire wealth, and the Gyanis, those who are searching for knowledge of the Absolute. What kind of bhakti are they qualified for? Babaji. When they associate with saintly sadhus, their distress, their inquisitiveness, their desire for wealth, and their desire for knowledge are removed, and they develop faith in unalloyed devotional service. Then they immediately become qualified for engaging in bhakti. The prominent examples of this are Gajendra, Shonaka, and other rishis in Naimisharanya, Dhruva, and the four Kumars respectively. Okay, so Gajendra was Artha, he was distressed. Then Shonaka and the other rishis in Naimisharanya were Jigyasu, they were inquisitive. Dhruva was artharthi. He was arthi, he was desirous of artha, of wealth, artharthi. And and who's the last one? And the four Kumaras were jnanis. They were searching for knowledge of the absolute. Rajanath. Do devotees attain liberation at all? Babaji. There are five kinds of liberation. Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya, and Sayujya. Salokya means to live on the same planet as Bhagavan. Sarshti means to have the same opulences as Bhagavan. Samipya is to have constant association with Bhagavan. Sarupya is to obtain bodily features similar to Bhagavan's, and Sayujya is to become one with Bhagavan. Bhaktas of Sri Krishna do not accept Sayujya Mukti at any cost, because it is blatantly opposed to the principles of bhakti. The other four, Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, and Sarupya, are not fully opposed to bhakti, but they still retain some adverse elements. The bhaktas of Krishna also completely reject these four kinds of liberations that are manifested in Sri Narayan's abode. In some circumstances, these forms of liberation provide comforts and opulences, whereas in their matured stages, they guide one towards prem bhakti. If their ultimate result is only comfort and opulence, bhaktas should simply reject them. What to speak of liberation, even Narayan's prasad does not appeal to the unalloyed bhaktas of Sri Krishna. Sri Narayan and Sri Krishna have the same fundamental form and nature, the same swarup from the point of view of Siddhanta. But from the viewpoint of Ras, Sri Krishna's super excellent glory is an eternal fact. Vrajanath. Is it only those who are born in Aryan families who follow the regulations of Varnashram? Is it only those who are born in Aryan families and who follow the regulations of Varnashram who are eligible to engage in bhakti? Babaji. The entire human race is qualified to attain the eligibility for bhakti. Vrajanath. In that case, it seems that people who are situated in Varnashram have to follow two sets of duties: the regulations of Varnashram and the rules of Shuddha Bhakti, whereas those who are situated outside Varnashram have only one duty, which is to follow the limbs, the angas of Bhakti. This means that people situated in Varnashram have to endeavor more, because they have to follow both the material regulations and the spiritual regulations. Why is this? Babaji. A bhakta who is qualified for Shuddha Bhakti may be situated in Varnashram, but his only duty is to follow the anga of bhakti, and then all his worldly duties are fulfilled automatically. That's just reminding me of what we went over in the Swaniyam Dwadashakam of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Um, he says that I don't accept any dharma or adharma. I have no attachment for any of it. But still, I've maintained my life this far by Varnashram Dharma, so I'll accept only those things which are favorable, which are subhajam sahayam, which are helpful for my bhajan. Only those things in only those dharmas in Varnashram Dharma that are helpful for my bhajan. Everything else I don't really care about. So a qualified there's no fault in neglecting worldly duties where they're okay. There's no fault in neglecting worldly duties where they're independent of bhakti or opposed to it. A qualified bhakta is by his very nature not inclined to neglect prescribed duties or to perform forbidden activities. If, in spite of this, he accidentally commits some sinful activity, he does not have to perform the penances that are prescribed in the rules governing karma. When bhakti resides in the heart, then sins that the bhakta commits by chance do not create a lasting impression, and they are destroyed very easily and quickly. That is why bhaktas do not need to perform any separate penance. Rajanath. How can a qualified bhakta repay his debts to the devatas and others? Babaji. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that those who are under the shelter of Bhagavan are not indebted to anyone. Devarshi bhutapta drinam pitrinam nakinkaro nayam rini charajan sarvatmana ya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritta kartam. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 11.541. One who completely surrenders to Bhagavan Mukunda, the affectionate protector of the surrendered souls, no longer remains indebted to the Devatas, the forefathers, other living beings, kinsmen, or guests. He is not subordinate to anyone, and he is not obliged to serve anyone. The purport of the final instruction of Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadhamma Prityaja, 1866, is that Sri Krishna releases one from all sins if he gives up all sorts of duties and comes to his shelter. The essence of the Gita is that when a person becomes qualified for unalloyed bhakti, he is no longer obliged to follow the regulations of the Gyan Shastra and Karma Shastra. On the contrary, he attains all perfection simply by following the path of bhakti. That is why Sri Krishna declares, Na me bhakta pranashyati, my bhakta is never vanquished. Therefore, this promise of Sri Krishna should be held above all. When Vijay Kumar and Vrajanath heard these words, they said, We have no further doubts in our hearts concerning bhakti. We have understood that jnana and karma are of little consequence, and that without the mercy of Bhakti Devi, there is no auspiciousness for the jiva. Prabhu, now please be merciful and make our lives successful by telling us about the angas of Shuddha Bhakti. Vrajanath. You have heard Daśa-mūla as far as the 8th shloka. You may relate to them, Vrajanath, you may relate them to your uncle later. I feel very satisfied to see him. Now listen to the 9th shloka. Okay, let's go through it on the file. Just because it's more easy to read that way. Okay. Shruti Krishna Kyanam. Sorry, let me redo that. Shruti Krishna Kyanam Smarananati Puja Vidiganam Tatha Dasyam Sakyam Paricharanamapyatma Dadhanam Navanganyetani Havidigata Bhakter Anudinam Bhajan Shraddha Yukta Suvimalarating Vaisa Labhate. Well, read the translation from the book and then look at the Sanskrit. Okay. One should perform bhajan of the 9 processes of Vaidhi Bhakti, namely hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving Krishna's lotus feet, acting as Krishna's servant, becoming Krishna's friend, and surrendering oneself fully to Sri Krishna. One who with faith daily practices bhajan in this way certainly achieves pure Krishna Rati. Okay, let's look at the Sanskrit now. So Shruti refers to hearing. Akyanam means chanting, so chanting Krishna. So hearing, chanting Krishna's name. Oh, I probably should just write chanting Krishna's name. Whatever. Then smarana, remembering Krishna. Nati, that means bowing down to Krishna. Puja, worshipping Krishna. And I guess vidigana means following the rules, like worshipping, I guess. I don't. What does vidigana here mean? These are the ganas, the different prescriptions, I guess. I don't know. Um, yeah, I think so. And then tata means as well as dasyam, serving him, adopting a mood of servitude to him. Sakyam, sakyam paricharanam. That means serving him in friendship. and Atma Dadhanam. That means fully surrendering oneself to him. Nava means nine, Anga, Angani, these nine limbs. Eta Niha, Vidigata Bhaktir Anudinam. So that devotee following the Vidi, the rules and regulations of Shastra, who daily, Anudina means daily, cultivates these Nava Angani, these nine limbs, um, bhajan. I wonder what bhajan means here. If they worship, I guess, if they serve in this way with Shraddha, endowed with Shraddha, then Su Vimala Ratim. They attain completely pure. Su, we already went through this word Su Vimala. It was in the previous verse, right? It says how this Achinta Beda Beda is Su Vimalam, right? It is the completely spotless, pure um, truth which is upheld by the Shrutis. So Su Vimalam. Su, very. V means completely devoid of any mal, any contamination. So, if a person performs bhajan in this way, with Shraddha Yukta, with faith, then he attains Suvimala Rati, supremely pure Rati. Vai means certainly, Sa refers to that person, he, Labate, attains. Okay. Shravanam Kirtanam Smaranam Vandanam Pada Sevanam Archanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. Those who daily practice these nine limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti with faith attain pure love of Sri Krishna. Hearing, Shravan, takes place when the descriptions of Krishna's transcendental holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes come in contact with the ears. There are two stages of Shravan. The first stage is hearing descriptions of Krishna's qualities and the association of Shuddha Bhaktas before developing Shraddha. This type of Shravan creates faith so that one develops a keen desire to hear Sri Krishna Nam and his qualities. After one has developed such faith, one hears Krishna's transcendental names and qualities with great eagerness from Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, and that is the second kind of Shravan. Shravan is one of the limbs of Shuddha Bhakti, and Shravan in the perfected stage is manifested as a result of hearing from Guru and Vaishnavas in the stage of spiritual practice. Shravan is the first anga of Bhakti. Kirtan takes place when Sri Harinam and the descriptions of his form, qualities, and pastimes come in contact with the tongue. There are many different varieties of kirtan, such as discussions of Sri Krishna's pastimes, describing Sri Krishna Nam, reading from Shastra to others. Cool. That's what we're doing right now. So this is kirtan, reading from Shastra to others, attracting others to Krishna by singing about him, uttering entreaties to invoke his mercy, proclaiming his glories to others, chanting bhajans in praise of the deity, offering prayers, and so on. Kirtan has been described as superior to the other 9 angas of bhakti, and this is especially true in Kali Yuga. When kirtan alone can bestow, this is especially true in Kali Yuga when kirtan alone can bestow auspiciousness upon everyone. This is stated in all Shastras. Dhyayan krite yajan yagyais tretayam dvaparer chayan yad apnoti tad apnoti kalo sankirta keshavam. That's from the Padma Puran, Uttar Kanda. 7225. Whatever is achieved in Satya Yuga by meditation, in Treta Yuga by performance of yajna, and in Dwapara Yuga by worshipping Krishna's lotus feet, is also obtained in the age of Kali simply by chanting and glorifying Sri Keshav. No other method purifies the heart as effectively as Hari Kirtan. When many devotees perform Kirtan together, it is called Sankirtan. Remembering Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes is called Smaranam, of which there are 5 kinds. There are 5 kinds of Smaranam. Smaranam means to contemplate some subject. Smarana means to contemplate some subject that has previously been heard or experienced. Then dharana means to fix the mind on a particular subject, withdrawing it from other objects. Dhyanam means to meditate on a specific form. When dhyanam is unbroken like a continuous flow of a stream of precious oil, it is called dhruvanusmriti. And samadhi is a state in which one is oblivious to outside reality and only aware of the objects of meditation in one's heart. Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaran are the three primary angas of bhakti, for all the other angas are included within them. And of these three angas, Kirtan is the best and most important, because Shravanam and Smaranam can be included within it. Right? Within Kirtan, you're hearing it and you're thinking about what you're chanting. So Shravan and Smaran are included in Kirtan. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Satyam Atmanivedanam. Hearing and chanting about Sri Vishnu's transcendental name, form, qualities, and so on, remembering them, serving his lotus feet, worshipping him with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to him, becoming his servant, and adopting a friendly mood towards him, and surrendering everything onto him, in other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 are accepted as Shuddha Bhakti. The fourth anga of bhakti is performing service, Padasevanam, or Paricharya. Padaseva must also be performed together with Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. One should perform Padaseva with a humble attitude, understanding that one is unqualified for the service. When they're serving Krishna's feet, should understand that you're unqualified for the service. We must do it along with Shravanam and Kirtanam. It is also essential to realize that the object of service as Satchid Ananda, the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Padaseva includes seeing the face of Sri Krishna's deity form, touching him, circumambulating him, following him, and visiting holy places such as Bhagavan's temple, the Ganga, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Mathura, Navadvip, and so forth. Sri Rupa Goswami has presented these in a very clear and vivid way in his description of the 64 angas of bhakti. Service to Sri Tulsi and Shuddha Bhaktas are also included within this anga. Wow, so Padasevana has a lot within it. Visiting the dhams, having darshan of the temple, serving Tulsi and Shuddha Bhaktas, this is all Padasevanam. The fifth anga is worship, archan. There are many considerations regarding qualification and methods of worship. If one is attracted to the path of archan, even after being engaged in Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran, then one should perform archan after properly accepting Diksha mantra from Sri Gurudev. So archan is not necessary. If one is attracted to archan after Shravana, Kirtan, and Smaran, then one may engage in archan. Vajana, what is the difference between nam and mantra? I think, it's 8 o'clock. So let's end here. I'm just curious how much is left in this chapter. Oh, anyways, I lost my spot. No, it's right here. Okay, so what is the difference between nam and mantra? And then he explains that. Guess he goes through all the way to Atmanivedan. He gives example of Ambarish Maharaj. Then, when Vijay Kumar and Vrajanath heard Babaji Maharaj's very sweet and blissful instructions, they were overwhelmed with joy and offered obeisances to him, saying, Prabhu, you are directly Bhagavan's personal associate. We are both blessed today by receiving your nectarian instructions. We were wasting our days in the useless pride of caste, family, and high education. By dint of the wealth of Sukriti accumulated in many previous lifetimes, we have obtained your mercy. Yeah, I'm just going to finish this paragraph. Yeah. Vijay, O most eminent of the Bhagavats, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur ordered me to visit the yoga pit at Sri Mayapur. By his mercy today, I took darshan of that holy place and also of a personal associate of Sri Bhagavan. If you'll be so kind, I will come again tomorrow evening.
When the elderly Babaji heard Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur's name, he immediately offered prostrated dandavats and said, I offer my respectful obeisances again and again to the incarnation of Vyasadeva in Sri Chaitanya's pastimes. Since it had become quite late in the morning, Vrajanath and Vijay Kumar then departed for Vrajanath's home. And so we will finish off the like just read the last few angas of the ninefold bhakti. There wasn't that much left. And then we will begin chapter 20, which is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Srila Param Gurudev ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Jaiva-dharma ki Jai. Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Jai Krishna Vashita, Krishna Bhakti Paridevi Satyavatai Namo Namah, Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhivyacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Nri Haribabu Bhavatarani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook. Vidya Lala Sadidi, Vrinda Didi, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Hari Priya Didi, Vangsiwala Prabhu, and I see there are maybe Indira Mataji is there. I see there are 8 devotees altogether. Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti to read about that. And we'll also finish up the last few angas of this chapter. I wrote a post on Facebook yesterday evening, asking if anybody would like to. I don't normally like to do this on the program, but I just, anyhow, yeah, I was just wondering if anybody would like to help contribute a little something for buying a grass cutting machine, because right now Subal is it takes these cows eat. Here's Mangala also. Mangala seems small, but somehow she has a massive stomach. She eats crazy amounts. And yeah, Suwal, it takes him an hour and a half to cut grass every day. He was cutting it after Mangalarti this morning for a long time, and then he'll cut it again in the evening time. He cuts like big bags full of grass every day. And so yeah, I wanted to get a grass cutting machine. Our neighbor has one. I looked at it and I put a picture of it on Facebook. I haven't got any response from that post yet though, so that's why I'm mentioning it here. It costs he said 22,000 rupees, which is 300 something dollars. I think it's like $320. I can't remember, but it's 22,000 rupees. So if anybody would like to contribute, you can send me a private message. And yeah, then Subal will be a lot more freed up because right now Subal is he does everything from top to bottom. He washes all the pots, he cooks everything, he goes to the market, buys sabji, he does all of Thakurji seva, and he takes care of the cows and takes care of the garden, and like he's just nonstop from morning till night. And if we got a grass cutting machine, that would give him like 1.5 hours extra time every day where he could chant his rounds and read and like that. So if anybody would like to help contribute that for our cows here and to make Subal's life easier, I'd really appreciate that. All right, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining, and see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Subal didn't want me to mention anything about him, but I couldn't help it. All right, Dandavat Pranams. See you tomorrow.